What's up, everyone? So, I want to make an update video on something that I had addressed a few weeks ago about having some difficulties at my workplace with another employee. Now, this started from August all the way into October, which was like last week. So, you guys can understand what kind of situations I'm actually going through at this process. So, with that said, I just wanted to make sure that you guys understand that this is just a follow up update. Now, YouTube has been demonetizing these videos of me expressing and sharing real world events and experiences at my current workplace. My work is what makes me good at what I do. So, as an intake management, doing intake assessment for houseless men, I feel like YouTube hasn't really respected me as a person or as a creator on this platform. I know this channel is based on photography, but I also wanted to share some of that and why this has something to do with the relationship of my photography. Now, let's start from day one so we can get a little bit of catch up here. Months ago, Porchlight approached me to work for them, and I kept telling them no. They would not take no for an answer. Apparently, they like the stuff that I do, not just as a photographer, but as someone that does consulting, doing outreach, and being bilingual. But they wanted me to absolutely help them with a problem. That problem was someone that was able and physical, able to deal with the workload that has been piling up for months. Now, there was a coworker at the time when I was visiting and volunteering. Okay, and he left the position because of the problems that Porchlight has. And the reason why I'm saying this right now is because one, this individual that has been attacking me, talking about my origin of religion, which is Muslims, but I was taken care of by some sweet Japanese parents that told me that racism is a thing in the past, leave it in the past, worry about your future. Also, discrimination from this individual, harassment, text messages, defamation of character, telling people that I'm tied to a terrorist organization. It's drawn to the point that the HR department at Porchlight refused to do anything with it at the time. I did not once text message this person back because, as you saw in the past videos, that I never text back when this person was text messaging me, not just me, but to everyone at 3:20 in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. The text messages kept going and going and going and going on. Yes, you guys may say, why do you just didn't block it? No, because I want to show the organization that this person seems to not be on a stable level. Now, we are all human, we all not stable. Okay, let's get that fact straight. We all got some issues that we go through during our personal lifetimes, or some trauma that we have in our childhood or early teenage adult years. But that doesn't excuse you to act out the way you have act out towards another colleague for no reason, because I'm only trying to help you understand how to use service point and how to do intake. So with that said, everyone, I've been abused, I've been defamation of character, I've been harassed, discriminated based on my religion, skin color. Just be honest about it. But here is the end result to all of this. He only got a 2 day suspension with no pay. Do you think that is reasonable for Porchlight to say that's acceptable punishment? No, because recently a high school security guard was fired for just using the N word to explain something. This person went way beyond what the security guard that if you haven't watched the news yesterday, he was fired for trying to educate people about the N word because another student at the high school was using that N word in a very unorthodox way. He gets fired for explaining what that word means. But this person that I work with harassed me, text messaged me, emailed me, kept flooding emails. He didn't even know that he was actually emailing me among the CC. When you CC someone, you CC other people. Well, I was one of those people. Another thing is that me and Yuki understood that he was under the influence, and she also thinks that there's something a little unstable about this person because this is a constant thing happening. Now, this person tried to do a background check. You guys know how my parents likes to keep things disclosed when it comes down to the right people seeing the right information. Apparently, he thought I was someone else, and he thought I was someone else again. Then he thought I was someone else for a third time, and now I'm a Muslim terrorist. That's you know what? But his punishment was that he gets 2 days suspension with no pay. Do you think, audience? I want to ask you: do you think that was acceptable punishment? Because a lot of people here in Madison are saying that that should have been an automatically should have been fired or or more repercussions should have happened. Like maybe one person said, I should have got emotional suffering and damages from this," which is true. I spoke to a group of attorneys, and they said that you could sue, even though it's a 501c3, it's an organization. You could sue for poor practice and other leniency things. But I said, no, I'm not about suing an organization that's helping individuals that need, not just men, but women and children and families. No, I want to show them that it is possible that this person has some vendetta against certain individuals with a higher education. Now, I don't know what university you went to. Well, I do actually. I just don't want to share that information because that's defamation of character. And I was told by legal to not share that information. But I can express my experiences on YouTube appropriately based on the conditions right now. And I feel like I'm not being respected at Porchlight or working at Porchlight. I don't feel comfortable anymore working there. Now, I don't mind helping individuals, and talk to them, do assessment. But when you're accused of doing things at work, when it's never found on footage, because everything is being recorded, that's another problem he missed. It's like you got to find probable cause to say that I did something wrong, but you haven't. Because I was nominated. This is all because I was nominated. Well, that's part of it. Nominated as Employee of the Month. Pretty sad to see how a person could go that low and say that I don't deserve it. Okay, have you been here since March, April, May, June, July? You just started coming on board on August. Within 15 days of you working there, actually within the first 2 weeks, you started showing inconsistencies in your work. I have to correct them. My director gets on my ass. I tell you to fix it. You don't fix it. You do the opposite. You take information that's not supposed to be left. I mean, you take information out of the office that doesn't need to be out of the office because you think you have a better position than I do. Dude, qualified mental health personnel professional or not, you're supposed to be professional at what you do. That information doesn't leave the workplace whatsoever. That's why we have a system called service point. But you know, I just find it that Porchlight is. I feel at this time Porchlight is not backing me up here. Now they want me to stay on board, but I have plans now. I've been looking for a new employment in Vancouver. Yes, I'm going to go back to Vancouver and it seems that I might get the job that I'm actually qualified for. Now, speaking of qualifications, remember back when I was in San Jose looking for the job at Adobe, and when they told me that I was overqualified, I was like, how am I overqualified? Like you're overqualified, and we're looking for how you overqualified. But anyway, that's another story. Well, I feel like this should have been I'm well overqualified. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the work that I do, it's not easy, it's not hard, it's just painful thinking that when someone makes a mistake, I'm always there to fix that issue. And no one seems to know anything about the mistake. Oh, I didn't do it, but you checked them in. You were working. It does show you the incompetency in some individuals. Now, well, in one individual, actually, one person, really. I just feel like Porchlight did not address this issue the way I was, the way I wanted to be approached. 2 days suspension, 2 days without pay is not enough. This person caused too much problems. So I was told by my parents, by Yuki, by my buddy Tech, by my whole Japanese friends and community, people at UW told me to step down, step aside. This is why no one wants to work for Porchlight because the inconsistencies. Now, I'm not blaming the director of services. No. Well, I addressed it to her. She was very, very vocal and very responsive by email. So let's just leave her out of this for right now. Okay. What I'm talking about is the hiring process. Now, like I said in the beginning of this video, Porchlight approached me for the job offer. And I told him no at the time because I was dealing with a tax problem. I came back to the States to deal with the tax problem. I came back to Madison because I thought that I could be a much, much more relaxed and safe here. But it seems like I can't even do that here anymore because it seems like more people are trying to, you know, label me as he's black. How does a black person like him get up an education doctoral or like a degree? Like, look at him. Look at his appearance. When they see my mouth, that's the first thing they think about drugs. You guys know I never, ever, ever done drugs other than maybe smoke pot now and then and drinking too much sake and soju. But these are from car accidents. You guys know this from my past videos, me dealing with some post traumatic stress due to the passing of my daughter in that car accident, and I'm still going through that phase. But I did it deal with it in a professional manner. I don't take it out on other people, and I don't ever take it out on you guys. I let you guys know that I'm going through emotional breakdown right now because I feel alone. I kind of miss being with my daughter, and it was fun at times. But what is not fun is having someone say that I'm tied to these organizations which are not true because of my origin of religion, which is Muslim. Because what you get a little bit of correct information that technically I am Muslim from a Muslim side from my father. So you're going to use that against me to tell another colleague, and another colleague asks that question because they needed to know. I told them, yeah, I am, but they asked me, do I actually, you know, who do I follow? So the parents that raised me are Buddhists, so I follow Shintoism. So, but yes, I do have a lot of Muslim friends, and I respect their origin and culture. And sometimes I would go to the temples, and sometimes I would go to the synagogues, and sometimes I would go to a church. Sometimes I would go to where people respect their gods or what they believe in. That's just neutral respect. There's nothing wrong with that. But for someone to attack me for my identity and then say that because black people lie. I'm like, yeah, buddy, I heard that not once but twice from other guests. And now this person has went to a farther low that you would never expect. He's asking guests to spy on me, even know information. Isn't that something? You're a professional. You call yourself a qualified mental health personnel professional, and you asking guests to spy on me? That's not a professional, ladies and gentlemen. That is a person that is willing and able to hurt you at any cost because he felt that he deserved Employee of the Month, or he felt that like he can do a better job than me. I'm sorry, but there's something that you need to understand about some individuals. You can tell by their penmanship how well behaved they are. Some people that let me explain. Some people that have very good penmanship have great attitudes. And what I mean by penmanship is like his writing abilities are very poor. I don't understand how he passed a university class. He maybe got a bachelor's degree or a master's, but his penmanship, if you guys see it, it's like what my daughter used to write when she was like 5, 6 years old. It wasn't the greatest, but she had to improve because that's in Japanese culture to improve on your handwriting. Everything must be punctual and neat and understandable to read. That's the education system in Japan. Most people write pretty darn neat in Japan, especially when you're writing kanji or characters of katakana or Japanese characters or fellow native Chinese characters among, because kanji has a mix of that too. But also attitude, the way he comes off as I'm better than everyone here. No one's better than anyone else. We're all here trying to do something great, and that is to help other people. That attitude I don't like. Third, and finally, his way of approaching a situation, which is if I was to do my own assessment on someone that I have experience in, mind you that I have colleagues that go to the APA, and he doesn't even, probably don't even know what the APA is anyway. So APA is Association of Psychology of America. Okay, a lot of people go to the organizations every year. Some people are members, like Yuki, Christina. I go as a documentarian, as a fellow colleague that understands mental health and psychology education, Asian psychology education, by the way. I don't understand American psychology, mental health. I do, but sometimes you can't identify problems right away. It's easier to address problems in Japan because the common things that happen is bipolar or, you know, or emotional distress because of the bipolar. Something tragic happens. That's why Japan has a high suicide rate. But anyway, I wanted to address it because I just feel that Porchlight didn't do what is necessary to keep another employee safe. If they want me to stay, then you would have done everything in your power to to come to a conclusion that do you really need a second shelter case manager when the other lead case shelter case manager and coordinator is doing way far better job. Because yesterday alone, an individual just came up to me and said that I don't understand why I had to come in and sign in. I'm working. And I told him the process that you need to bring in some verification that you are working. I understand you just started, but a letter would have been efficient enough to determine if you're working or not, so we could put you on the late list because you're not on the work list. Then, and by the way, he's way younger than me. He's in his 20, he's 21, 20. And he tells me that his case manager told him he didn't have to do that. You see what the problems here? Case management is telling him that he didn't have to do that, but it's in Porchlight's interest that he has to do it because we need to keep a record of who's working, who used the late list, who's on that list, how many guys are actually currently working. That's why. We need to know everything about, not everything, but we need to know very important details. Your health, chronic conditions, mental health conditions, drugs or alcohol abuse. Those things matter because that's how outreach is able to help address homelessness problems or houselessness. So there's three categories. Most people don't even talk about it or express it in a conversation or in a group meeting. One, there's homelessness, well, chronic homelessness, there's homelessness, and there's houseless. Okay? Houseless are those that are working but can't afford the rent, like in California. That's a good example. Californians are having a difficult time trying to pay rent, but they work two jobs, but they still can't pay rent. So they live in cars, or they RVs, or they cars in parking lots. Where now LA is having these sleepover parking lot places in LA for those that actually live in their cars. Students are actually homeless, and that's a good example, not just in California, but across this country. But no one addresses those problems. No one talks about them as much as they should. Here, we have to do the exact same thing. But here in Madison, there's minimum students that are actually homeless or sharing a room or sharing a place to live, but they're on a budget. But those that are living in a situation where they have to live outside 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365, it's difficult. But I can't rely on a organization that can't protect when they see far worse abuse. What this person did to a fellow employee like me is beyond expectations. It is far worse than what you imagine. He should have been terminated from employment, not 2 day suspension, 2 day no pay. That's not good enough. And they know that. That's because they can't hire people because people don't want to work for this organization. Now, Porchlight is not a bad organization. It's just that the stigmatin and the stigmatin, blah, blah, stigmatin, blah, 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 the stigmatin around the rumors, which some rumors are coming to be true. Because when we have our guests like yourself, cook food, bring it to the shelter so men can eat breakfast and dinner, and they see how shelter managers talk to guests, they get worried. They see the similarities as what's going on, what they hear on the streets. They're like, oh my God, it is true. But some people look past it because this is a hostile environment. People are under stress. People are going through a stressful time. That's understandable. But I just wanted to point this out and just let you guys know in the update. I know this has been 23 minutes long. Most of you guys are not going to watch it for that long. But if you care that much to let people know that this kind of abuse at a workplace is forbidden. It's in the policies. I have the policies with me right now. It's forbidden. I just think that it's inappropriate judgment, and I think it's unfair judgment that 2 days paid and 2 days suspension is not good enough. This person went way beyond what we imagine. Calling me by my Muslim, I'm tied to terrorist organizations. I'm a legal immigrant here in the country. I'm a legal immigrant in the country. So how the fuck did I get a? How did, in the hell did I get employment at UW and Porchlight, knowing that I told both of them I didn't want to work because of the photography, wedding season, summer weddings, parties, family photos, portraits, candidates, money making. Porchlight owes me money for losing money. In reality, not in theory, but in reality, they do. Because every time I have a day off, I always get a text message. Can you cover? Can you cover? Wait, none of that. Remember, I made a video about how I worked 10 days straight, no days off. Then anyone explained to this individual, hey, you had a whole week off. Did you bring any medical verification saying that you were sick? I doubt it. I thought it just blanked their mind because they were so more worried about losing me at intake because they got no one else to do the intake assessment. No one that willing to do it Monday to Sunday. No one. Yeah, they got another colleague. She can do it on Thursdays, but she has another job, and she's a coordinator. She does housing assessment. Her job is not to do intake, which is the paperwork, asking men's questions, fill out the questions, and when I ask an individual questions, I kind of want to be in a private place, so I tell men, "Can you please go downstairs? I'm having a private conversation," because I don't want other individuals taking advantage of information that that can hurt the client and the guest. Porchlight wants to call them clients, but the guest needs to feel that we are on their side, not against them. So I just felt like UW did the right thing when they contacted me and said like, "Hey, I got some person trying to find information about you." I'm like, "Yeah, that's probably him." It's like, yeah, it's like going around town trying to find information about me. That's stalking. That's literally stalking. That's harassment. Whatever I do outside of work has nobody's business. I'm not a drug dealer. I'm not a bad guy. I don't do drugs. I may drink beer here and there. Like you just saw me recently on Instagram, my day off, had a drink. It's good. Like, I should do that more often. Because there was no ramen. No ramen. I had to go. Morrison Ramen is a really good ramen place that you guys gotta visit if you're ever in Madison. But it's a very good place. I recommend it. But things turned out to not be in my favor because even my ex-wife Yuki said it, my friends said it, my parents even said it. Then they're not looking at for your best interests. Everyone said that. And Yuki has been a psychologist. She graduated with 2 PhDs. She's an assistant visiting professor in psychology education and mental health for Asian cultural and American Asian Cultural Society. She goes to the APA. She has organization ties, and even she said that there's something not stable about him. I let her read all my emails, all my texts, all the bullshit he sent me. And she's like, yeah, there's no there's no company called 30 Eye Consultant. It's a software engineering company. He's just making this up. You can see where he make the mistakes in his email, like the signature. You can see the inconsistencies in the email. Like you're not an owner. Then if your business is in Illinois, why are you in Wisconsin? See, that's the thing. So with that said, everyone, I'm not perfect either. I make my fair mistakes, but at least I man up to my mistakes. Not try to hide behind people to shelter you from the mistakes and try to play innocent and try to say, "Oh, I didn't do that." He lied about everything, and they said, "Well, we have it right here." These were from the director and from employees. You didn't see these text messages? You didn't say this, you didn't say that. I'm sorry, but he should have been terminated. I'm seriously. He should have been terminated. And then I got my colleague Darnell, said her name. She said that she overheard me talking to my parents. She goes, "So you are going to leave? Don't let him make you leave." I was like, "No, I'm leaving because Porchlight did not protect my rights, my human rights, my civil rights, my constitutional rights were all broken here. They broke every fucking law here, and I'm supposed to stick around and deal with it? Like, not just once, not just twice, but several times. my human rights were violated. My civil rights were violated. And I was supposed to keep my mouth shut? That's why I went to legal. Even legal told me that if this pursued, give us a call and we will file charges. That means a restraining order. That means he can't come to work. I'm not going to go through that process until it gets well. It got serious enough that they even mentioned a restraining order to keep him from coming to work, which means automatic automatic can't show up at work. I'm not going to go through that process because it will make me look like I'm the bad guy. Let HR take care of that, but it seems like HR is not taking care of it because I was told last Friday they would take care of it and they would email me to let me know the results, and no one ever did. That shows you, and I have the emails to prove it. But since it's going to be a legal matter, I will show you after I win my battle, or if I ever want to pursue this in court, because it feels like my I just feel like my human rights were truly 100% violated, along with my civil rights. Period. But with that said, everyone, I'm at the public library. I wanted to make this live stream really quickly before I go off and oh man, start to rain again. So I got the umbrella, the ninja umbrella. So yeah, it's been raining off and on. Then the sun comes out for a couple hours, and it's been weird weather. But guys, as a panel photographer, I try to do my best. You guys see me travel from London to Japan to Canada to South America, from Paris to London to New York to Chicago to Portland to San Francisco to San Diego to uh, uh, San Francisco to Utah to Reno to freaking Montana to all these places. I love Madison, but I just don't feel comfortable here anymore at this time. I would love to come back next summer, start fresh. Hopefully they clean up the act. But other than that, I I'm not sure if I'm going to continue to stay with Porchlight. My parents, everyone wants me to quit, and I think that's a good sign that I should listen to the people that are very close to me and have very respectable a very respectable outlook on me because they know me very well, and so do you guys that've been following this channel for quite some time. You guys know me very well, so I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think I should do now? Don't be afraid to leave me harsh comments because this video was not script. Most YouTube content is script, or they do the cut paste kind of cut scene kind of thing. No, I'm not going to do that here. You guys want real world experience, so I give you real world experience. But with that said, everyone, the pen photographer, I will be making future content on photography once I go to New York next week. You guys are going to get a full exclusive access to a Halloween party. It's going to be live streamed. Don't worry. It's going to be bananas. Like last year, Halloween party was crazy. We're going to do it again without the asshat that was running the Halloween party last year. But this is going to be better because Tech is throwing the party. I'm the photographer. I'm going to be dressed like a photographer. That's the best costume that I can ever wear. I don't have to spend money. Well, I do actually on gear, but yeah, my costume is more expensive than anyone else's, basically. But it's going to be a fun time. I'm going to give you access to those videos, live streaming on Instagram. I'm going to do a Facebook live stream. That's why I have 3 devices now. Let's get really real here. 3 devices here. Got an Android device so I can live stream on Facebook. Then I got the second iPhone, my older iPhone, and then the newer iPhone. So therefore, you guys can get that nice. Everyone gets a fair share of the content. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, the Panda Photographer, all one word, just like this channel. Facebook is Keiki Alexander, Keiki. My name is pronounced Keiki, not Kiki, not Keiki, not Kiko. It's Keiki. Keiki, like cake that you eat, key that you turn. Put it together. Boom. You got Keiki. You can follow me on social media or go to my website, 646studios.com. All the social media links are there. That's how you get easy access where I am. But thank you for watching. And hopefully this experience at a work this experience at an organization like Porchlight will never happen again, and it should never happen. Period. But with that said, eat, sleep, photography, videography, repeat. I'll see you guys in the next video. You guys take care. Happy shooting.